is a force within you. It has been feared, it has been hidden, it has been named many things, but rarely understood. It is not evil, it is not dark, it is not shameful, it is simply power, raw, primal, and sacred. The ancients knew it. Mystics whispered of it, but modern life, it buries it under noise, distraction, and shame. This is a life force that pulses in you, that steers with desire, that fuels your creativity, your drive, your magnetism. But instead of being taught how to master it, you were told to fear it, to suppress it, or to waste it. You see, this isn't about sex. It's about energy, the most concentrated form of energy you carry as a human being. And what you do with that energy determines your field, your focus, your future. You felt it before. That magnetic pull in your chest, that spark in your belly when you are aligned with something you want, that tingle at your spine when you are speaking truth. That is it. That's the current, and it's been waiting for you to return. The reason you feel tired, disconnected, or invisible may not be because you lack effort. It may be because you are leaking energy that was meant to be harnessed and transformed. In every ancient wisdom system, Egyptian, Taoist, Vedic, indigenous, this energy was treated as divine currency. They did not worship it, they channeled it, they cultivated it, and in doing so, they became magnetic beings, forces that could bend reality, not because they forced it, but because they attracted it. Now, this sacred knowledge is returning, not in temples, not in textbooks, but in you. This is your first step into sexual alchemy, not as repression, not as indulgence, but as a sacred remembering that you are not weak, you are not unworthy, you are a battery of divine fire. And when you learn to direct that fire, you become unstoppable. We live in a world that teaches us how to use technology, but not how to use our own energy. We learn how to chase desires, but never how to transform them. Let's be clear, sexual alchemy is not about celibacy. It's not about shame. It's not even about denying the body. It's about understanding the body as a vessel of sacred currents. At its core, sexual alchemy is the act of taking raw, instinctual energy, the same energy that fuels attraction, desire, arousal, and transmuting into something higher like creative force, spiritual vision, personal magnetism, mental clarity, and divine alignment. Think of your sexual energy as a river. Most people let that river overflow its banks, wide, chaotic, directionless. It floods their focus, it drowns their will. But the alchemists, they build channels. They guide the river upward through breath, thought, stillness. They don't waste it in impulsive impression. They elevate it into presence. This is the energetic gold of sexual alchemy. Desire is not the enemy. Desire is the doorway. When you feel arousal, attraction, temptation, don't shame it. Don't run from it. Instead, become conscious of it. Hold it like a flame in your palm. Ask, what can I create with this fire? What can I charge with this force? Because sexual energy is neutral. It becomes destructive when unconscious. It becomes divine when directed. This is what the Taoists knew. It's what yogis saw in the coiled kundalini. What mystics sensed in the serpent fire rising up the spine. What William Reich called organ. A subtle electromagnetic energy released in love, withheld in fear, and transformed in awareness. The first step is not control. The first step is consciousness. Becoming aware of this inner current without judgment, without urgency, is the beginning of transformation. Just awareness. The moment you stop being a passenger to your desire and become the driver of direction, you're no longer ruled by your biology. You're commanding your energy. But what does science say about all of this? Can modern physics, biology, and psychology support this ancient knowing? Let's go deeper into the magnetism of your body, the electricity of your breath, and the hidden frequency of aroused awareness. Behind every heartbreak is a spark. Behind every thought is a current. Your body is not a machine. It's a field, an electromagnetic field, alive and changing with every emotion, every breath, every choice. And your sexual energy, it is the densest, most concentrated current of that field. It's a biospiritual battery. The Earth Math Institute discovered that the Earth's electromagnetic field is up to 5,000 times more powerful than the brain. It radiates outward, literally affecting the fields of people around you. This isn't poetry, it's measurable frequency. Now imagine infusing that field with the voltage of conscious sexual energy. Your entire vibration will shift. People will feel it before you speak. Your presence will arrive before you do. This is real world magnetism. This is not charisma. This is energetic gravity. Nikola Tesla, a man of genius and solitude, once said, I do not think you can name many great inventions that have been made by married men. Tesla wasn't condemning love. He was talking about focus. He believed that retaining sexual energy heightened his creative power. Carl Jung explored how repressed sexual instincts created destruction in the psyche. He also understood that sublimated desire could be transformed into art, passion, insight, and depth. William Reich took it further, studying ongoing energy, the subtle life force he claimed could be seen in orgasm, in the sky, in nature. He believed this energy wasn't just sexual, it was cosmic, and when blocked, it created illness, but when consciously released upward, it became healing. When you retain sexual energy without suppression, when you hold it in stillness, breathe into it and carry it into your voice, your eyes, your heart, you are not celibate, you are charged. Your nervous system stabilizes, your gaze deepens, your focus sharpens. You stop chasing because now things begin to chase you. You're no longer trying to be attractive, you've become magnetic. It's not magic, it's mastery. This is the science of attraction, not superficial tricks, but internal voltage, not seduction, but sovereignty. But the ancients knew this long before science could measure it. From Egypt to India, from Greece to China, sexual alchemy was taught in secret to the initiate, the priest, the adept. Long before psychology, long before neuroscience, there were temples, not churches, not dogma, temples of initiation. From the mystery schools of Egypt to the sacred caves of the Taoists to the inner sanctums of Tantric yogis, the knowledge of sexual energy wasn't feared, it was guarded. Not because it was shameful, but because it was divine. In ancient Egypt, initiates of Hermetic and Osirian path, we taught that sexual energy was the serpent's fire, the cold creative force at the base of the spine. It was the secret behind the caduceus, the staff of healing and transformation, two serpents rising around the spine, wings opening at the crown, a symbol later misread as medicine, but in truth, it represented energetic mastery. In Taoist tradition, this trinity was sacred: Jing, which is sexual essence, Q, which is life force, Shen, which is spirit. Sexual energy was not to be wasted in unconscious pleasure, nor repressed in shame. It was to be recycled, moved upward through breath, refined into Q, which is the life force, and finally transmuted into Shen, which is spiritual light. They meditated with it, breathed with it, moved it like sacred fire, because you believed your sexual essence was a cosmic passport, your ability to align with the Tao, which is the universal flow. In Tantric and Yogic systems, desire was not meant to be destroyed, but sublimated. Tantra is not just sacred sex, it is sacred energy through mantras, mudras, and breath work. Practitioners moved energy up the Sushumna, the central energetic channel of the spine, awakening the Kundalini, a dormant serpent of pure consciousness. This was the path of ascension, not in death, but in life. The ancients weren't afraid of desire. They understood that the fire of sex and the fire of the soul were the same flame. In all these cultures, one truth echoed again and again: sexual energy is sacred when made conscious. It's not about ritual, it's not about religion, it's about remembering what you carry in your core. They did not need science to measure it. They felt it, they respected it. They understood that whatever could raise the fire could become the sun. But this wisdom didn't die with the ancients. It echoed across time, hidden in symbols, myths, and teachings, waiting for us to listen. Even as temples crumbled, even as the scrolls were burned, Even as religions rose to silence the mystics, the truth moved underground into symbols, into secret societies, into the margins of forgotten texts and whisper rituals because power never truly dies, it disguises itself. Alchemy is not just about turning lead into gold. That was the surface story. The real alchemists were inner scientists, transforming the lead of the body into the gold of the soul. Sexual energy, that was the primal material, the raw base substance, and transmutation, it began within. They called it the fire of the furnace, the inner fire that, when raised and refined, could create the philosopher's stone, not a thing, but a state of being. Mystical Christianity, Sufism, Kabbalah, all hid these teachings beneath metaphors. The sacred union between soul and God was more than spiritual poetry. The divine marriage was an energetic process uniting the masculine and feminine forces within. Even the Magi of Persia, the Zoroastrians, spoke of Atar, the holy fire within, a fire to be kindled, no extinguished. The Hermetic order, the Rosicrucians, Freemasons, these were not just philosophical clubs, they preserved rituals, symbols, and breath work designed to awaken the inner sun. Why so secret? Because in a world ruled by control, a human being who controls their own energy is the greatest threat to manipulation. They don't follow crowds, they don't seek permission, they radiate truth. Even today, you hear it in biohacking, tantra workshops, in creative flow state, but few connect the dots. The discipline of the monk, the charisma of the artist, the glow of the athlete in the zone, all of them tapping into the same force, directed desire. The difference, most stumble upon it by accident, but you are here to master it. The secret has never left us. It only asks one thing: are you willing to look deeper? Because if you do, you will see the same blueprints across centuries, from pyramids to cathedrals, from scrolls to singers. They all point to the same place within. But how do we apply these? What are the actual practices, the rituals, the breath, the inner mechanics? Now that you know the power, it's time to learn how to hold it. Because knowledge without embodiment is still just theory. But when you live it, when you feel it pulsing through your spine, when you transmute that current into your breath, your voice, your vision, that's when you become the alchemist. Here are the ancient practices simplified. No ropes, no rituals, just pure presence and power. Your breath is the wand, the spinal elevator for your energy. Whenever you feel sexual arousal, stop, be still. Inhale deep into your belly, and on the exhale, visualize the energy rising up your spine like smoke curling from flame. This breathwork, known in Taoist and Yogic traditions as microcosmic orbits or Kundalini breathing, pulls energy upward from roots to crown. That's slow. Don't force it. Just feel it rising. Do this for 5 to 10 minutes every morning, and you begin to feel the difference in your presence. This is the inner clasp that seals your energetic circuit. While breathing, gently contract the muscles at the base of your pelvis, the same ones you use to stop urination. Hold for a few seconds, then release. Do this in rhythm with your breath. What does it do? It locks the energy in. It prevents leakage. It will direct it upward into transformation. Think of it as sealing the chalice so the nectar doesn't spill. Arousal isn't just physical, it's mental. When that fire rises, don't run, don't indulge, don't suppress, focus it. Pour it into a creative act, writing, art, prayer, movement, vision. Energy of desire is the most powerful fuel for manifestation. Whatever you give it to grows. The same energy that creates life can create your future. At least once a day, sit with yourself in stillness. Let the inner energy rise without touching it. Observe the fire. Don't fan it. Don't fight it. Just watch. This creates awareness, the master key of all alchemy, because only in awareness can transformation begin. When you begin this journey, you will notice your eyes sharpen, your voice deepens, your presence shifts, people feel you, reality seems to respond to you. Why? Because your energy is no longer scattered. It is intentional, directed, and alive. You stopped leaking power and started radiating it. This is not suppression. This is sacred sublimation, not control over the body, but communion with the divine force within. You become the living temple, a beacon, a silent force that attracts by vibration, not performance. But there is one more piece. What happens when this energy awakens fully? What does it mean to become a living sun, radiant, sovereign, aligned? In the next part, we reveal what happens when you step into full mastery of this force, when you stop chasing and you start becoming. This is where the path leads, not to celibacy, not to indulgence, but to illumination. All the practices, the breath work, the silence, the way to deny your desire, the way to refine it, to melt the crude into crystal, to awaken your inner sun. Because when sexual energy becomes conscious and you stop leaking it through unconscious cravings, you begin to radiate. What does it mean to be the inner sun? The sun doesn't ask to be noticed, it rises, and everything around it responds. People, opportunities, synchronicities, they orbit you. Why? Because your energy is now whole. You are no longer fragmented between temptation and guilt, shame and desire. You are centered, magnetic, and complete. You speak less but say more. You do less but achieve more because the world feels you before it sees you. You become the cause, not the effect. Most people react to trends, to lust, to fear, to loneliness. But when you awaken this energy and guide it upward, you become unmoved. You walk into a room and the room responds. You become the cause, the still axis around which motion spins, the eye of the storm, calm, conscious, unshakable. You no longer chase, you attract what already belongs to your vibration. This is what the Marxists meant by divine marriage, the union of masculine and feminine within, of heaven and earth, desire and divinity. It's not an idea, it's a state, a presence so refined, so luminous that all that feels safer, deeper, more real around you. Because your energy is not trying to impress, it's trying to express. You're not hunting for power, you're power, quiet, rooted, and bright. In Alchemy, the final stage is called rubido, which is the reddening. It is the completion of the work, the moment when the inner fire no longer consumes but illuminates. This is where you are headed, and not just for attraction, not for seduction, but of sovereignty, so you can walk this world, not as a seeker, but as a son. If you've made it here, the work has already begun within you. Now, walk the path. Practice the stillness, honor your energy, become the sun. If this awakens something inside of you, subscribe for more esoteric teachings and soul-aligned wisdom. Share this with someone ready to reclaim their inner power. Let them feel the flame and drop a comment below. What part of this video stirred your soul the most? This is not just a video, it's a reminder of who you've always been.